Oh, here you go. Go.
Good?
That's a big fish.
Full hand on tail. Yeah, looks sick. Good deal.
Look how broad that thing is.
I wonder if that was the one that followed me in.
Beautiful.
Oh my.
That's a big
That's a
fish.
big fish, dude. Limp! This would have been waiting for all day.
That's over 6.
Felt that bite.
Damn, I think low and slow is the way to go, eh, baby?
First big of the year on.
The thing I'm about to tie on.
Get him, get him.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Calm down. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here.
Yeah, dude!
Dude.
6 pounds, 11 ounces.
Oh my god, please get the net. Please, 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 please get the net.
I got you, buddy. Oh my god. I got you.
That was the weirdest bite ever. Oop. That was a good one? Yep.
Sure, feels like it.
Sure is.
I can't turn her head, bud. Holy sh! What the? Is that another 6?
Could be.
The second giant of the day, proving that point. Oh my god! Oh my god! Yes! Big baits, big fish. There we go, 5 pounds, 6 ounces. Beauty! Let's go. Got him. Get in here, you. There's another 6. You. That's a big fish.
6'10". Woo-hoo-hoo. Little fatty.
Oh my god. If I can land this fish. Holy sh! 5.06. Sick. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy sh! God. What a beast. Dude, that's it, that's it. I'm 4 pounds smaller. I need a picture. Sorry.
Oh wow. That might be a 4. That might be a 4.
Yeah, it's a 4. You guys show that off too. 4 pounds, 12 ounces. Holy. Trailer is what's getting it done. Yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, that's unbelievable. That's a 4.
He's still swimming.
There we go. That's a big fish. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes! 414 though. Poochie. Not too shabby.
Poochie.
How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome back to Reel Nothern Bass live stream every Wednesday. You know the drill. We're always here.
At 8 o'clock.
See a lot of people in the chat already. Thank y'all for coming as usual. For anybody that's willing to go out there and brave the madness that is Labor Day weekend, I salute thee. Best of luck, especially for those that go out in the Lakes region of New Hampshire. You're a better man than I am, better man or woman. There's 3 weekends I don't go near the Lakes region. Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. I just don't mess with it.
There's one time I don't go to Winnie. Always.
We need to like break that. Although, if I'm not telling anything, nobody, nothing, but you know, when this whole thing shakes out, it'll be a hell of a lot better than what it's been.
Yes.
It'll be manageable.
Yes, it will.
We'll leave it at that. All right, so before we dive into it, first and foremost, again, everybody that's here, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Second, if you haven't done it yet, please drop a like on the stream, whether you're watching right here on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook. Either way, it helps more than you know. And then last but not least, most important, really, we are joined tonight by our friend Sean Graves, who is the, multiple high school bass fishing coach and also a board member on the NHIAA. And he's here to join us tonight to talk a little bit, at least for the first portion of the stream, about the just New Hampshire high school bass fishing teams. The season is ramping up. Everybody that's been here for a while knows I was a high school coach myself for the last 4 seasons. The first year I decided to take a break, which worked out anyway because I knew family vacation was going to be pretty close to it. And it turns out I'll be gone in Florida, like right in the middle of when all the tournaments happen. So proper planning on my part, so I didn't screw that up. But I do miss it, and next year, hopefully, I can make a return to it. But that's the plan to get started. So without further ado, Sean, go ahead and really properly introduce yourself. Talk a little bit about you personally, any of your side business adventures here, fishing related, and then we'll start talking high school stuff.
All right, so Sean Graves, I coach both Keene High School and Monadnock Regional High School bass fishing. I've been coaching since the NHI introduced bass fishing as a varsity sport here in New Hampshire. And I don't know, I fish, 5 or 6 different tournament trails over the course of the year.
Sheesh.
What is your primary trail that you end up fishing? Like, what's your one that you'll never miss anything?
All of them.
Good for you.
So well, I mean, it's I try to manage all the schedules so that I can make all the different trails. And then, the fall is always the toughest because high school season ramps up. And then we also have, it's kind of championship season for all the other trails. So it's kind of it's a balancing act.
Yeah,
my wife,
especially.
My wife
ahead,
is not about that balancing act.
God bless all of them that put up with the shit we do.
Oh my.
Well, all right. So with that in mind, regarding high school fishing, let's get the most important part of this conversation out of the way. Let's talk dates for the upcoming state championship qualifying tournament. That's the one that every school fishes. And then 2, for anybody that's interested, and I know there's a lot of you here that have expressed interest in this in the past, there are several schools that are looking for boat captains to really help out this year, a few more than usual. So for anybody that's really interested in this, or if you know anybody that's remotely interested in doing this that can help out, we would greatly appreciate the assistance. I myself was like, you know what, if I can shake it, I'll come out and help. But I'm gone. I'm out of town on a family vacation that week, so there's no chance I can help out. But let's go with that. Let's give them the dates and the schools that need assistance and what they can do to, start that process rolling to help get involved.
Yeah, so let's do a little history here. So we got 37 schools in the state that have bass fishing teams. Started in the spring of 2013, so this is actually our 10th year of having it as a varsity sport. Currently, there are 4 states in the country that have bass fishing certified as a varsity sport. Started with Illinois, and then Kentucky was second, New Hampshire was third, and then Vermont added it after us. So our season qualifier was on Winnipesaukee on September 21st, and that's out of Center Harbor. And then the state championship this year is on Spofford Lake on the 30th. So the 21st is a Thursday, which is always, kind of tough to get boat captains on Thursdays. But right now we have 5 schools still looking for boat captains, which is a little bit higher than usual. But we've got Bishop Brady, Campbell High School, Hollis Brookline, Prospect Mountain, and Sanborn. So if somebody was interested in doing that, maybe you can share my information. And then they can contact me, and then I can get a hold of the NHIA and pass their information on to the NHIA. Or they can call the NHIA directly and ask for Nate, and Nate can help hook you up with what you need to become a boat captain.
Well, I know there's plenty of people in here that are probably interested, so you guys should probably get on that.
Yeah, and especially right now where I know a lot of schools are starting to get their season underway. They're already, if not actively starting their tryouts, then they're at least starting to communicate with the kids that are all interested and trying to get schedules aligned. One big part of that too that maybe isn't discussed as much is like also trying to understand what kids need too, because almost every year that I did that for the 4 years, there was at least one kid that came on that really wanted to try out, but really just didn't have the gear. And you want to make sure you give every kid a fair shake, depending upon what it is you're trying to do. So it's like, okay, well, there's plenty of people, so many people out there that always have extra gear, extra tackle, and people are more than willing to donate. Never, ever had a problem finding extra gear for someone if I didn't have something myself. Tackle has never been an issue. Extra rods and reels, that tends to be most common thing.
Yeah. So we started August 7th. Actually, we start earlier than any of the other sports, but we also end earlier than any of the sports. So this year, basically, we start August 7th was the first day of practice that we were able to start practicing, and then it ends on the 30th. So it's about a 2-month window that we get to compete in the fall. We've been super blessed. there, like you said, never an end of the equipment that people are willing to donate. Kyle Glencross over at Fish and Game. If you're looking for equipment, he is an excellent resource. He does the Take Me Fishing program at Fish and Game. And people are constantly contacting him with stuff that they're trying to get rid of. And a lot of times it's excellent equipment.
All the stuff they confiscate. I'm kidding.
That was good though. And you're absolutely right.
No,
Kyle, I met him. He's been great.
Not any of. So, we got dogs barking. Just give me a second.
Yeah, you're good.
That was pretty good. That was. And so we also have a regular season. Keenan Monadnock, we host 3 tournaments over the course of the year. We've got the Connecticut River on the 2nd. We're doing Winnipesaukee on the 10th at a Shep Brown's. So it's actually the actual qualifying waters is the same boundaries that we use. And then we have the JV State Championship on the 16th.
That's awesome. Are you still also doing
so the kids? Most of the kids.
Are you still doing that state versus state championship? You got like New Hampshire versus Vermont. You still doing that too?
We're not doing that right now. We're still trying to get back to that. It's hard for New Hampshire to compete against Vermont because Vermont gets to use their same coaches with the same kids. And for the NHIA, once our last date is over, we're not really allowed to be on the boats with the kids until the last spring sport is over.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
we're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah. No, understandable.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah. Well, hey, again, if anybody here listening, watching, knows either you yourself are interested or you know somebody that is interested and you want to get involved, please, by all means, I cannot stress to you how enjoyable it is. Not to say that it's always a perfect experience, but everything considered, it is a phenomenal experience. And the thing is, you get to fish with kids that really want to be there. So it's not like you're just out there taking kids out. These kids really want to be there, and they're going to give it their all to try and learn and hopefully, succeed while you're out there on the water. And then at that point, it just becomes like any other tournament, right? It's anybody's game to win, and it's just always an enjoyable experience. So by all means, if you're interested, if you can remember to all the contacts that Sean just gave out, please reach out at any time. The sooner the better, because again, the first major tournament, the one that every high school team fishes, is coming up very soon on Thursday, September 21st, and that'll be on Lake Winnipesaukee. If you don't, if somebody comes to this after the fact, like after the live stream's done, this is up on YouTube and Facebook, reach out to me directly. I don't care how you do it. If you reach out to me, I will get back to you immediately, and I will get you the contact information that you need. So I guess one more time, Sean, just a quick reminder, what are the 5 schools that are looking for boat captains for people that could potentially help out so that, ideally maybe we find somebody in close proximity to those schools?
Yes, we got Bishop Brady, Campbell High School, Hollis Brookline, Prospect Mountain, Sanborn.
Perfect.
Those are the 5. And they can reach out to Nate at the NHIA, or you can give them my contact info, and they can reach out to me, and I can get them to Nate too. Either way works.
Perfect. Was there anything else you wanted to share about the whole high school thing before we move forward?
Well, it's funny because, we have a huge number of high school anglers that want to learn about bass fishing. And literally they're going to be our lifeblood of all the tournament anglers are just, purchasing Fish and Game licenses down the road. And the more that we can help them is only really going to enhance the fishing in New Hampshire in general.
Yep. No, wholeheartedly agree. And yeah, like I said, all these kids that want to do this, they want to be there. So one of the things I did want to touch upon is a common question I got from people that started expressing interest in trying to become a high school coach or captain, however you want to call it, is their question was, well, what are my obligations as far as like how many practices do I have to run? What does the practice entail? Like how do I run tryouts? And there really is no set structure or process for this. You are the coach. No. You're the one that kind of gets to dictate what this is to an extent.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, there's obviously NHI guidelines that you have to follow. Yep. But it really depends. I mean, for our school, we have 31 kids out this year. And we practice
my
5
God.
days a week. Yeah, so we're Monday through Friday, and we have classroom time. We have outside practice time. Like yesterday, we did a casting accuracy assessment. We do. So how I do it is because we have so many kids, we're trying to put the 2 best fishermen on the boat. So we have what I call skills assessments. We have a skipping assessment where I put a target out in the water and they get 10 tries to skip to it. And then the top 6 kids get points. And then at the end of the tryouts, all the kids, the top 4 athletes with the highest point totals make varsity. We do a casting accuracy, we do a flipping assessment, and then we do 2 tryouts on Spofford Lake, and then we add those 2 tryouts together. So the fishing counts 3 times, and then we also do a quiz, and then attendance is another category. So they've got I think it's 7 or 8 different categories that they're able to get points in. So by the time we get to the state qualifier, really the 2 athletes that we're fishing have performed in a variety of different levels. The first couple of years we just did 1 tryout tournament, and sometimes fishing can have a little luck involved, and so we ended up having different athletes that could not fish as well as other athletes make the qualifier. So we kind of put this program in place so the 2 best athletes are representing our schools.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
My nephew better go to school.
Some schools might practice once a week. Some schools might practice twice a week. Some schools, they don't have a coach in place, so they get a boat captain, and they might just get to fish the state qualifier, and that's it. And so that's why I put the regular season events, so that instead of having just one opportunity to fish, these kids have multiple opportunities to be able to fish, to get them to see how awesome this sport really is.
Yep. Yeah, that's amazing that you're able to dedicate that much time to it and to offer perspective, my perspective, which is much more limited on time, between my career, my proximity to the school I was coaching at, which is Hillsborough Deering. So in Hillsborough, me being in Milford, we're an hour apart, but thankfully we had Deering Reservoir right in the middle. And
Yep.
That's an awesome place to practice at for the kids, because it's like a little mini Winnipesaukee. It's got all the same fish, with the exception of trout, but it's got smelt, it's got smallmouth, it's got clear water, it's got shallow, dirty water. It's got everything, which is phenomenal. So it's a real, in my opinion, true test of this is what you're going to have to fish for this tournament. So this is what we're going to practice on. And, but
and that's what because it's the closest thing we have to Winnipesaukee.
Yeah.
Clear water, smallmouth, largemouth, same type of scenario.
Yep. So for me, being on my limited schedule, trying to work around, my wife works evenings, I got 2 young kids, so it was hard. But I was able to give kids at least 1 practice, but much more often than not, it was 2 practices a week for from 4 to 6 weeks out, depending upon how early we could get together with the kids prior to that first tournament. And the busiest year I had 5 kids that were interested. Other than that, my first year, there was only 2 kids that tried out. So, okay, you're both on the team. The next year, there was only 3. Then there was 5 kids. And the next year, there was 4. So my tryouts were very much let's just go fishing. And prior to even getting them out in the boat, I communicated exactly okay, the only thing we're going to be able to do is we're going to go out and fish. And we're going to try and fish in the same situations and scenarios that I suspect we'll find for that tournament, as long as the conditions play nice to that. Otherwise, we'll just go fish and we'll find them. And I'm just going to assess you guys on your overall attitude, your availability, I guess your overall competency, and I guess just your willingness to really learn. Attitude was a big thing for me, and just willingness to want to learn. And one of the other things I did was it was my second year, because we had a couple of kids that were they were green, but man, they were excited to be there. So I just was well, let me put together a beginner document, because there might be other kids that are interested that they just don't know much. And okay, well let's give them the very basic beginning information. So I like to write anyway, and so for me it was enjoyable. And before I knew it, I had this 10-page document I created on Google Drive, and I was oh, okay, no, that works. So I handed that out. 1 year, 1 kid didn't even read anything on it, and that played heavily into it. It's if you're gonna try and make it on the team, that was a big thing. Like you had to be
effort in.
Yeah, you got to be fully invested across the board. And, you know, there's other factors to it, but like that's it. That's all I did. Like read this, show up, and let's just have fun and fish. And you know, if you can kind of cross off enough check marks. There was one year I didn't take the best angler on the team because he wasn't the best person. He wasn't the best teammate. And I don't know if that sounds terrible or not, but that's just the fact of the matter. Like at some point there has to be a deciding factor between who's going to make it and who isn't. And, you know, like attitude is everything. So like that from a smaller school, smaller team, smaller time schedule perspective, everything for me that checks off every one of those boxes. That's how I handled practices as a coach. And that was sufficient. You know, it worked.
And it really is up to the individual coach how much they want to do. I mean, I'm really lucky. You know, I taught at the high school for 26 years before. So I was already in the building, which really worked out well. And so, but, you know, you don't have to make that same type of time commitment like you were saying. You know, the kids are thirsty for knowledge, and you don't, as long as they're getting something, that's really all they're really looking for.
All right. Yeah, my nephew is doing the South. He's on. Well, he did the tryouts for the Souhegan team. I haven't heard back, but I'm sure he's made the team.
Fingers crossed.
I'm sure
fish can be fickle though.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, they can.
And that's the other reason why I do the 2 tryouts. Because, you know, sometimes, you know, we've had kids that had a good night, but really weren't, they just happened to land on the fish that particular night.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, so, I mean, that's, I don't know. We try to make it as fair as possible for all the athletes. You know, like, so for instance, during our tryouts, you're only allowed to use 2D sonar.
Well, I like that.
I do like that.
Right. So not all the kids have access to the same equipment I mean, we rely solely on volunteers to take out the athletes. And, you know, we have everything from, you know, a 16-foot tracker to a 22-foot Triton out there with all the bells and whistles. So in order to make it fair, the only electronics they're allowed to use is 2D. So that way, you know, because the tryouts, it's kid versus kid. Boat captains cannot provide any information. It's just the athletes trying to figure out the fish for themselves.
Yep.
That's sick.
I like that. So there was 2 questions I want to throw at you that were from the chat. I just want to make sure, because there were some schools you rattled off that I'm not familiar with where they're at. So Joe Burchill asked, does Salem or Wyndham have a team?
I do not know that off the top of my head, but if you were to go to the NHIA website and click on bass fishing, that will give you all the teams that are there.
Perfect.
I believe Wyndham does. I'm not positive about Salem.
Okay. What were you going to ask?
I said hi, Caleb.
Oh, I saw him in there. Hey, buddy. And then David did ask, are there any schools in the Lakes region looking for captains? I feel like one of those schools, Sanborn, isn't that kind of close to the Lakes region?
It's Sanborn and Prospect Mountain, both kind of close to the Lakes region.
I believe so. I think Sanborn is like in between like Dover, kind of the greater Dover area and Lakes region, I think.
Yeah. I'm stuck over here in the little southwest corner, so everything's a haul for us. So I'm not positive about where all those. I think Campbell's right outside Manchester. Hollis Brookline obviously is near Hollis and Brookline. Bishop Brady, I think that's over near Nashua, but I'm not 100% sure. But again,
Bishop Girton is in Nashua. Bishop Brady, I think, is out towards Derry. I could be wrong.
Okay. Oh, I think you might be right.
Yep. Oh, there you go. John Foster just came in clutch. Prospect is Alton. Yeah, there you go. Lakes region. So, David, if you're interested, man, reach out.
Your kid. Congratulations, John, on your kid's success over the weekend there. He pulled in the W at the Junior Bassmasters.
Oh,
nice.
Awesome.
Congrats, Nick.
Yeah,
I might have said congrats and Nick at the same time. Congrats, Nick. Cam already answered that before I saw John. Sorry. And then Mr. Higgs, how do the kids start fishing in a derby day? Do they get to pick out the spots they go to? See, now that's an excellent question.
Great question. So like I said, for our tryouts, the kids have to pick all their own stuff. When it comes to tournament time, I think the coach and the boat captain play a big role in that to try to assist the kids, just like you would in any other sport. the coach can help develop a game plan. If it's football and you're competing against another school, the coach's game plan is kind of what you're working with. So yeah, I think the coach and the boat captain have a big influence on the state qualifier and the state championship.
Yep. I know, speaking from the way
as well as the regular season events. But in terms of for our tryouts, I put kid against kid. They have to make all the decisions.
Nice. There you go. Yeah. Speaking from, again, just trying to offer multiple perspectives. Like, I was coach for 4 years. Friggin' Sean's been doing it forever. So for me with my kids, if I could, I got them out there like during, legal scouting time period on Winnie, so they could really see like, all right, based on this time of the year, this is probably some of your best bets to be in all these different areas and really show them what we're looking at. But then come tourney time, I'd lay it all out to them. Basically the same way Andrew and I fish. Like, first thing in the morning, we sit down, we talk, and it's like, okay, well, we're on this body of water. This is the air temp, water temp, weather, all this. It could be any one of these 5 areas. Let's go. And we just go fish. I do the same thing with the kids, but like I really explain it to them. And this is usually in that like last hour we have before actual takeoff. It's like, all right, these are all the potential spots I think could pan out. What do you want to do? And I let them hash it out. And I offer a little bit of insight here and there. There was only 1 year where I really put my foot down and was like, I really disagreed to do that. I don't think that's going to serve your best interest or your good, use of your time. And I learned that lesson from the first year, where I let the kids just completely have at it with all 100% decision making. And I felt that I failed them as a coach because I knew better and I didn't speak up. And as such, we ended up wasting a lot of time that very first tournament. But it's as much of a learning experience for me as a coach, my first time ever coaching kids, as it was for the kids with, just trying to go through that process and figure it out and make decisions. So there's a balance in it, I think, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go up and we'll practice usually a week ahead of time, and scout out, and then we'll talk about the game plan going into the day, and we'll try to figure out. Like a couple of years ago, we were on Wentworth, and we had our limit of 8 smallmouth, and I told him, I said, listen, we can keep upgrading by small amounts, or we can go try to find a big largemouth. And I said, it's up to you guys what you want to do. And they said, let's go find a big largemouth. And we were lucky enough to catch one, which really helped out at the end of the day.
I remember that, you bastard.
Sorry. It was one of my favorite moments coaching. I'm not going to lie.
I bet.
That's awesome.
That's honestly is one of my favorite things, like being a coach. This is for your benefit and everybody else watching is, cause like I know almost all the coaches there, whether it's people I've actually met personally or just like guys I've seen post a lot on Facebook or Instagram, whatever, and just guys I know from like tournament trails around New Hampshire and stuff. So either I know them personally or like I at least know who they are. And just like typically all the coaches just kind of like hang and huddle during the weigh-in, and all the kids are walking around talking to everybody, and it's usually just like so how'd it go? And it's different than
like a normal tournament.
Yeah, because like there's a lot of guys that don't want to talk at all, period. And then all the coaches there, like we don't
care.
Yeah, like 90% I think of what's being shared is like everybody's happy to share and just talk it over.
Right. And
it's cool because it's not about the adults competing, it's about the kids and like how'd the day go for the kids. Not like, hey man, how'd you do? It's like how'd the day go? Mm-hmm. And it always makes for a phenomenal conversation at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's as you well know, the fishing community is not huge. And so it is one of the most fun things to go to these tournaments and see people you may not have seen for a little while and run into them and talk to them about how their programs are going. How's your program going? How many kids do you have? And stuff like that. There is a lot of camaraderie with the coaches.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's almost like the camp that we did.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all the guys were all like, oh, how'd you do? Where'd you get them? Blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And oh, we got him on this, doing this, up here, down there.
Yep.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and the camp's just like the high school guys.
Though.
What?
I said, fishermen lie, though. You can't always...
Oh, yeah. I won't lie, I just won't tell you.
Yeah, exactly. That's our thing. We don't lie. We just won't tell you. If somebody asks us and we tell you something's been going good, take it at face value. Because we don't... Yep. We just don't lie about it, but there's been plenty of days where someone's like, yeah, man, how'd it go? And we're like, good. And that's the extent of our
That's all right.
feedback. That's usually what he says. It's all right.
I can offer one little piece of insight for those folks that might want to be coaching. Do fish out whatever the best talent that your kids have, if that makes sense. So a lot of times, like when I first started, I remember we were over at Lee's Mills. And I'm like, oh, let's go flipping up some largemouth. Well, if the kids can't flip, you're not going to be very successful.
They're
so
not going to
whatever
have fun.
Right. Whatever skills the kids have, just accentuate those skills and let them be successful with the skills that they do have. Even if they might not, win the tournament or whatever, if they're able to catch the fish with the skills they have, they'll have a successful day and they'll have a fun time doing it.
Yep. Very well said, sir. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we can cut you loose now, man. I appreciate you stopping in to talk about this. Again, anybody, if you're interested, NHIA on the website, you can go see all the schools that are out there, see which ones need captains, if anything, or by any means, if you can't remember any of that, come back to this after the fact. Reach out to me. I will make sure you get in touch with the right people, and we'll take it from there. But best of luck to you and your team this season, sir. Sorry I can't be there this year.
Thanks a lot for having me. Appreciate it. Have a great night, boys.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Bye.
For everybody that's still here, hang around for 1 second. I have a thing. So, real quick, while I get this, quick weekend fishing report. We went fishing. Even though I technically don't have a boat, but I do have a boat. Because I brought the old Ranger out.
We went fishing?
We went fishing on Friday.
Oh.
This will be a very short fishing report.
Yeah, so his boat's down. So we ended up taking... Ooh. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. We ended up taking his dad's old Ranger. 94 Ranger with a 2006 Mercury on it that was having issues. It
Just
ran, but it wasn't pissing. So kind of had some issues a little bit. But we made it work with the trolling motor. Caught a couple fish. Nothing crazy. I did catch one on the chatterbait that I tied. So you guys, if you have been around listening, watching the show, I started tying my own hair jigs. And, I don't need this on anymore.
Nope.
And so I tied a chatterbait. And at the very end of the night, I ended up catching one on the chatterbait. And I was very, very excited. I smiled a little bit in the picture.
Yeah, you did.
There was no consistency in the bite. It was, I think we each got one on everything we threw, almost.
Almost.
Besides a couple of the big baits that I was throwing, but
not a single sniff on the big baits.
No.
I thought I did at one point, but I just ended up finding out I was ticking the top of a rock pile that I was aiming at. So I just thought it was a little deeper.
So that's about the extent of the fishing report this weekend.
Yeah.
They're just kind of everywhere.
We caught a few. And that was the important thing. It was nice to be able to be back out in the boat while I wait for resolution on mine, which I do have definitive resolution, which is good now. I got the call yesterday. Yamaha is going to cover the bulk of the repair and labor associated with it on my outboard, thanks to an interesting recall on that outboard. So that's good. Still going to cost me several $1,000s, but it has cleared the path for the future. And I'm not going to say another word about it until it actually happens.
Sure has.
So, onward. So, for everybody that was here last week, we did a raffle for this crankbait, which my good buddy there, Chad, who's, if you guys have been in here on a regular basis, he's got in on every single waffle we've done, and he hasn't won until he won this. And so, as luck would have it, I was literally going to be up just down the street from his house on, I'll have you read out what that is, because I can't remember what the model is and everything. I was going to be by his house on Sunday anyway for a family reunion, so I texted him Sunday. I was like, hey, man, I'm bringing it up. I'll be there at like 11. He's like, oh, dude, I screwed up. I'm not even home. You know what? I don't even crank anyway, and I'm going to pay it forward, so just give it away. So we're not going to raffle it. We're just going to do a straight... Wow, holy hiccup. Excuse me.
I'll take that one.
We're just going to do a straight-up giveaway. So there are 69 people in here watching between Facebook and YouTube. It's 8:35. I'm going to go to 8:37. Pick a number between 1 and 100 check the chat. Make sure you didn't pick the same number, because if multiple people pick the same number, we're going to go with the earliest one. It's only fair. So starting now, number 1 through 100, pick a random number. I'll pull up the random number generator, throw it up there on the screen so you guys can see. And like I said, till 8:37. You got about 2 minutes.
Alec, you can't pick 69. Somebody already picked
Did he?
it.
Oh, who beat him? Jason. And in the meantime, let's read. Wait, sorry. This was
The Blitz Max by OSP.
What is it? Deep Runner.
Probably like, I don't know, maybe
Everything's
guessing like 12 to 15 feet, maybe.
I don't remember. Dennis said it last week, but I'm gonna go with what you said. Length. Everything's in non-freedom units. Anyway, so what did Cam just say?
It's
Unfortunately,
all in
high school
lines and
fishing.
dashes.
Unfortunately, high school fishing will never be a fair sport. It's a boat captain versus boat captain most of the time. Yeah, unfortunately, you are
2.4
you are
meters.
spot on in a lot of cases.
So 4.2 meters, whatever that is.
You know what?
It's like 12 feet, 12 to 15 feet.
Wait, what was it? How much?
4.2.
4.2 meters is, it's a little over 12 feet. So, 12 to 14 foot model.
Aha, I was
job.
just looking at the lip.
I think it's 3.3 feet per meter, something like that.
Yeah,
Roughly. Maybe it's like almost 3.4 feet. But yeah, anyway, the boat woes are not just to me. I got a text from our buddy Travis Rocket. Their boat's done. Fried a cylinder.
Oh, no.
It's number 2 cylinder blown. Sorry, buddy. I feel for you. Trust me. I'm currently living it. And I had to wait several weeks to get my resolution, but at least it's nice. Freedom Fishing did ask, anyone have luck with a glide bait with all the rain?
You should be.
Pin that up there. 8:37. Hope you guys got your numbers in. Not me. No luck.
I haven't either, but I also haven't been fishing as much as I should be.
True. All right, Mike O was the last one to get in his guess at 24. So random number. I just had it. Yeah, that one. Random number generator. 1 to 100. I have not touched anything yet. Hang on. Present. Share screen. That one. Share. See, it was already at 9 to begin with. That is not the winning number. You can see the little blinking right there on the 100.
Blink.
All I did was type in there. Here we go. 88. Do we have a winner at... Oh, my God. Little Rich. Was
Hold
there
on.
one before him?
Hold on.
I'm going to pin him first. Hang on.
Hold on.
Pin him. I'll be so happy if we picked a winner right out of the gate. Because sometimes these can go on for several picks before we finally find a number. Hell yeah, dude. All right, Little Rich. Congratulations, man. You won this. Do me a favor. Shoot me an email.
Mom, what the hell you...
It's all good.
I give it to Jackson.
Little Rich, do me a favor. Send me an email. I don't care if you want to reach me on Instagram or on Facebook through Messenger, or shoot me an email, 603bass@gmail.com. Either way, just let me know, and I'll get that squared away and get it shipped for you either tomorrow or Friday. But we'll get it out to you. Unless you happen to live kind of close to the Milford area, in which case I can probably meet you. We'll figure it out. Shoot me a message.
If I knew you, I'd put artwork on it.
Oh, shit. Think about that for a second. Ask Alec about Andrew's amazing artwork.
I can't wait for his boat to come in.
When's he bringing his boat in?
I don't know. You have to ask him, but it's happening.
I actually asked him if he wanted to buy my Skeeter. And he was like, I can't. So, fair enough. I'm actually willing to make a pretty good deal on it for somebody, but... No, I take that back. It's already resolved. It's done. Moving on. I did not mean to eat that ice cube. And it's not very cold.
But you did. Ice is cold, actually.
I didn't want to spit it back out in my drink. All right. Was there anything you wanted to discuss? Because I've got a couple of things I wanted to bring up, but I didn't want to jump in and not give you the chance. This is the first time you've been back here in person for the stream in months.
2 months? 3 months?
Yeah, something like that.
A while.
I mean, technically, the last in-person stream you did was when we were up in Champlain, but that was a stream that died because the Wi-Fi was terrible. So,
yeah.
Just terrible.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been fishing as much as I want to, and I want to go fishing really bad.
You and me both.
I've been like itching to go. Like I almost took out the John boat the other day, just like loaded the truck up
Should have.
because I got it running.
I know.
I was like,
Would've
I should
been
take the John boat out to Round Pond and go catch 31 pounders. But I didn't. So I mean, I got really nothing to say tonight.
So, how much you're aware of how well both the last two Elite Series events went?
Yeah.
Champlain, St. Lawrence River. Mm-hmm. Have you seen how much discussion has been regarding Fujita with his 5? I think he has 5 Garmin live scopes on his boat, and at least one, if not 2 of them, are the saltwater versions that have like incredible range compared to like the normal one that everybody else has on their bass boat. But then the subsequent conversations that came from that tournament, and then especially for Lake on Lakes, Jesus Christ, Sean, St. Lawrence River and Lake Ontario. There we go.
I heard a little bit about it, but not a lot. I heard he was using some crazy forward-facing sonar stuff, and that's pretty much all I know about it. I haven't really looked into any of the discussions or anything like that. I usually try not to, because I'm usually just busy with other things in my life that I'm just like, well, I don't care what they're doing. That's not what I'm doing.
What was it? Salt water? So I want to look it up. It was this guy, the LVS 62.
Oh wow,
$2,500 just with a transducer. But from my understanding on this is, yep, right there. Explore the deep with an extended range up to 500 feet in freshwater and 350 feet in saltwater. That's because of different water densities. So you have different capabilities in what these things can do. That's insane. And apparently he's got 2 of these of the the XR LVS 62 on his boat. I don't give a crap. I don't care about any of it. The reason why I want to bring it up is the amount of vitriol and just overall insane discussion that I've seen since basically like day 2 of the Champlain event has been off the rails.
I believe it.
People are losing their minds over this.
Yeah, it's like the whatever color dress that was. Is it white or blue? Just let the man fish. Jesus, he spent the money on the stuff. Let him fish. Whatever.
The thing is, like, every person I see that's like talking about it, the vast majority of the discussion always circles back to like, it's not fishing anymore. And
you're right. I mean, it's still fishing, but it's more of a video game. That's why all these younger kids are getting so good at it, because they grow up playing video games, and then they hop on a boat that has practically a video game in front of them. It's just they're casting.
Yeah, their ability to work with and interpret technology as a whole is second nature to them, because that's what they grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing is like, why aren't people as vocal about bed fishing tournaments? Why aren't people as vocal about spring tournaments when you're just sight fishing cruisers all day? How is it any different at the end of the day? You've just extended the same thing that everybody's been having. It's just strange. Now, what I did like is Gerald Swindle put out a post yesterday asking, like, just strictly from a fan's perspective, watching these basically live streams or watching the live feeds from the elites, what are your thoughts as a viewer watching these tournaments now, where especially the last 2 were like heavily dominated by guys that had forward-facing sonar? And that perspective, I totally get. Me, for the most part, I don't mind it, because it's actually kind of cool still to see how people are breaking it down differently, even if they are staring at the screen a little bit. A lot of those guys are actually doing a pretty good job of explaining like why they're doing it, even if they're like sitting there like this the whole day and they never lift their damn head. Need to say a chiropractor at the end of the event.
I mean, sometimes you don't even catch a damn fish, even though you got 100 fish around you.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter, honestly.
So
you
it's
still got to get the fish to bite.
Right. But at the same time, you get some of those guys are getting so honed in and focused on that screen that it takes away from the experience of like, they're not elaborating on what they're doing and why as much as they used to. And honestly, in some cases, there is nothing to elaborate on. These guys are literally just going out there like the same as any of us would go out and approach a lake. Okay, this time of the year, this kind of body of water, this forage, largemouth, smallmouth, any one of these 5 areas, right? and I'm going to fish like the structure. And these guys are doing the exact same thing, and then they're offsetting their approach by 50 to a couple hundred feet. And they're finding all those same high probability areas as anybody else would, doing it the old traditional way, as we would call it. But now they're looking for the bigger fish. They're sitting just a little bit out further, those lone roamers. And that to me is probably the most consistent big difference and the only difference. And there's really not much to say about that. So I get it why some of these guys are quiet.
Yeah, but if you know that those fish are going to be out a little deeper or a little shallower, depending on the season or the weather conditions, you don't really need it.
Yeah.
You just got to put the time in to catch them, because you're still putting the time in. You're just seeing them now.
True.
So the chance of you running into one is still pretty good.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't really care. I mean, we put at work at Bass Fishing Electronics, we install, I couldn't even tell you how many of live scopes, active targets, like we put them on almost every single boat that's coming in now. And it's just, it's good for the industry. I mean, it's making money left and right. So, I mean, is it good for the tournament fishing? I'm not going to say yes or no, but
can't be worse than bed fishing.
It definitely makes fishing a lot more fun when you can see the fish not bite your stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. The thing that, like,
it gets you all hyped. You're like, oh, they're gonna bite. Oh,
and then they don't.
oh.
That's the thing. Like, you can always tell when there's somebody talking about it that's never used it, because all these people, the vast majority of people that are talking about it, they're most vocal about it, are the ones that don't have it and have never used it. And they don't understand that it means dick at the end of the day. Like, if you don't already know what you're doing, adding that piece of technology to your boat means nothing 98% of the time, right? I mean, at some point, anybody's slinging a Senko that knows nothing other than how to cast the damn thing where they want to put it, and that's it. That's the extent of their fishing knowledge.
In 5 feet of water.
Yeah. Right. Then live scope absolutely will make them look like a phenomenal fisherman compared to what they normally would be, because it's just by the rules or laws of probability, like it's going to happen, right? But generally speaking, vast majority of cases, it doesn't make a difference unless you already know what you're doing.
Yeah. When it's like big tournament, like when the elites are playing, when the elites are playing, we put it on TV at work and we watch it, but it's like, it goes like 15 minutes without anybody saying anything because they're so focused in. They're so focused in on that screen that the anglers aren't even talking to the cameraman. They're not talking to anyone.
Yeah.
They're just dead silent. So then Zona has to be like, well, I got to pick up the slack. He just keeps rambling on.
Yeah, but actually, from that perspective, he probably loves it. He's like, this just gives me more job security.
Yeah, right.
And I don't say that in a bad way. I love Zona. Zona's the man. I love him.
He is.
Trying to think.
Headed to Congress.
Oh, wait, no, I'm not that far yet. I did see Dan. They'll be voting on it for next season, and some parameters will be set, I'm guessing. I haven't seen anything where they've officially said that they're going to vote on it or not. But I am curious, like, and I wouldn't be opposed to it. I mean,
I wouldn't doubt it.
It would be kind of nice if they were just like, okay, at some point we do need to put a limit on it. Like, yeah, still have the ability to use it, but yeah, maybe 5 transducers is excessive. Who are we to say? Depends. Like, honestly,
I've personally seen 3 on a boat.
I wonder whose that was.
And I showed you a picture of it. It's pretty cool, honestly.
It is.
It's pretty sick.
You know what, dude? If you can afford it, wing it. And until you can definitively tell me that it's worse than bed fishing tournaments, which nobody apparently has a friggin' problem with, then let them rock it. I don't give a shit if everybody has 10 of these things on their boat. If it's no worse than, if it does less damage than what bed fishing does, then what does it matter?
Pretty much.
Because we give a huge pass to that, and that's the most BS thing ever. It is what it is. And then I saw you were talking about this one for Boat Potato.
Maybe.
See the back and forth between Clun and Hackney about it live. It was a live mix during Champlain. I heard about it a little bit, but I didn't see the whole thing.
I did not. I heard it. Yeah, I definitely heard about it. Brian was all freaking jacked up about it.
I bet. Yeah, I mean, in all fairness, they're two great guys, but they're two older guys. And it's...
Hackney likes jigs.
Yeah, there's
I
nothing
like
wrong.
Hackney.
Yeah, I love the dude. He's great. But I can see why some people might be upset by the way they were taking it, because it's easy to just dismiss them as they're old guys and they just don't want to get with the times and try and learn the new technology and stuff, and they're just falling behind, so they're going to cry about it. I've heard that argument several times. I've seen people making that argument. There might be something to that. I'm not going to judge it, and I'm not going to say there is or isn't. I don't know. I'm not those people. I don't know what's going through their head, so I'm not going to judge them. I can understand why people would have that perspective, though. That's for sure.
Anthony's comment.
Jumping on late. I bet if Randy had his way, he'd still be using a paper graph, write telegraphs, and use the smoke to communicate to nearby friends. I'll send you a text by carrier pigeon.
Oh, I had a stroke. That's funny. That's awesome.
Yep. Kirk, bed fishing is way less ethical in my opinion. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it's shooting fish in a barrel. So it's funny.
It's literally impossible not to catch a smallmouth off a bed. Like, we have literally done, I don't know, 2 or 3 videos of it.
I think 3 years in a row now where I've made it a point to post a video.
Bare hook.
Yep.
Nothing. Just a hook.
Just to prove the point.
All they're doing is getting that thing off their bed and away from their eggs. That's it.
Yep.
But
Boat Potato. Vermont Bass Nation did not allow floggers in a June tournament just recently. That's neat. So I was thinking about that, right? I'm making plans already for next season for what tournaments I'm going to fish, because I want to like hash that out, obviously plan it out with my family and make sure everything's good, understand what time away I might need for some of these bigger events. And as long as some other things fall into place, which the biggest obstacle has. So I was like, yeah, first thing I said was, I'm going to fish both BFLs on Champlain if they do it the same as this year. And then I said, no, I don't think I am. I really don't want to fish that bed fishing one, which you can't know for certain if the weather's going to play out.
Right.
That event's going to be a bed fishing event. So it's like, do I not sign up and just assume that's going to happen?
I mean, you could always go for pre-spawns.
Yeah, very, very true. But the top, 30 in that event every freaking year, all these guys are just out there sniping beds.
Yeah.
They'll go out there for a week and they'll mark 600 beds and they'll just run through them over and over. This is much more my personal preference. I don't want to do that versus what I really hope people aren't thinking is me complaining about other people doing it. I don't like it. I wish people wouldn't do it, but I'm not here to say they shouldn't and that I don't want them to. Whatever floats your boat, man. I don't want to partake in it. If I can avoid it and I can plan around that, then I'm going to. I don't know. We'll see. BFL, same one in July, definitely doing it.
Big friggin' league.
3-day Toyota event up there on Champlain, probably doing it. 3-day Toyota event on St. Lawrence, probably doing it.
If I get a boat, I might do the BFL.
Dude, it was so much fun.
I bet it was.
I mean,
I was there-ish.
and you and I are the same. It's like you don't really think about what's going on for the tournament until the last 5 minutes before takeoff, and it's just nothing but pure excitement. And I get all jacked up, I get jittery because I'm just
Here we go.
I'm so excited. And that's how I am with every small club event I've ever done. And then I get into a 109 boat field, and it was only twice the size of the biggest previous event I'd ever fished, but it felt like 10 times that. And I was that whole last half an hour until takeoff, I was so jacked up. I was shaking with excitement. There wasn't a single bit of nervousness until I got around the point and I saw how big the waves were. And then I got a little nervous, but it was more about the weather conditions than it was me competing in the tournament. But other than that, dude, then it's just like pure business.
I was there for the takeoff, and I mean, it was even just like a little rowdy in that little bay there. And
no, it was really rowdy once you got around the point.
I believe it.
Dude,
I believe it. I'm just
bad.
saying, in that bay there in Plattsburgh, it was still like a pretty good chop in there. There's also a lot of boats moving around, but I mean, I was sitting there taking pictures, and next thing I know, they're taking off, and I zoomed way in.
Yep.
So way out, I could see, and I'm just watching these boats just go I'm like, oh my God,
Dead
dude, that's
accurate.
going to be gnarly out there.
I
I
think
was out there. I took Oliver's boat out there.
Oh yeah, I
that day.
forgot. Yep.
And
If you're a little further north, it still sucked.
yeah,
A little different than being down around Cumberland Head.
Tell you what, that Vexus, ooh,
Oh my God.
girl, I want one.
It's a barge, but it's a beautiful cloud riding barge.
That is dream boat right there.
I'm pretty sure in the BFL tournament I posted, I left it in there. But I remember, like, we made the run. It doesn't seem like it's that far of a run from the launch at Plattsburgh to where we first stopped at in Oliver Bay. So, like, all the way up and around Cumberland Head and, like, yeah, just, like, kind of, like, halfway up along that peninsula. But I remember, like, I'm pretty sure I left it in the video. At least I had it in the rough cut. And came down off pad, and there's, like, 2 or 3 seconds of silence. And all you hear is me go, well, that sucked. Because it did, dude. We got slapped around and ragdolled.
Slap.
That boat, I love that boat to death. It does literally everything I've ever asked of it. Where it meets its maker, the end of its limit is on a place like Champlain when you're dealing with 15+ mile an hour winds straight north or south. And then Winnie on Sundays, all the boat traffic, you get that 2 to 3 foot washing machine chop. Like, it'll go,
Just
but you got to
Winnie
slow
on the
down to like
weekend.
25. So,
Get your shit pushed in.
yeah, just ragdolled. What did Austin say? I think it's awesome tech, but like an A-rig, I think the results will show. It's going to be too dominant for tournaments to be exciting anymore. Maybe practice only, at least the top level of tourneys. I do wonder, here's the thing. Bass, unless they decide to take kind of a more moral or ethical stance on this, if they're going out of their way to listen to the online chatter, I don't think they're going to do anything about it. Because if it's not hindering the product in the sense of overall viewership, overall subscription rates for like magazines and online services, like literally anything, if it doesn't hit their bottom dollar, why would they make a change?
It's probably making it better for them anyway. Just all the drama. Drama makes money.
Yes, it does.
So
Look at they are different, but really it's a business. It is intended to operate to generate income and be a profitable business, just in a different form factor than anything else, right? And you look at like one prime example, like video games. And there's plenty of things that publishers do that are just mind-bogglingly stupid, and a lot of people hate it. But for all the hate and disappointment and displeasure and just everything negative that they have about it, the bottom dollar doesn't change on those companies. So what's their incentive to change?
Grand Theft Auto.
They're still
sucks.
profitable, right? You know, it's like that's all it comes down to. The end of the day is the almighty dollar. And if there isn't direct impact from consumers in the way that Bass makes their money, that they can correlate, wow, damn, we're losing money left, right, and center because of LiveScope, then do you really think they're going to make a change? Whether or not you want them to or not, which side of the fence you're on is irrelevant. I don't think they're going to. Unless they take that kind of moral stance. That's my opinion.
If you got it, use it. If you don't have it, you probably hate it because you don't have it.
Truth.
So
I like
whatever.
that. I do like that phrase. I think it's funny because it's not even remotely true, but it's still a funny phrase. If you ain't scoping, you're hoping. And you and I just laugh.
I don't need it really. I've caught less big fish since we've had it.
Yeah.
Like literally, I haven't even caught a 5-pounder this year.
So I went back and I really looked through it. There's legitimately only been, I think it was either 6 or 7 real days of like weather patterns played nice and we could just legitimately hunt with LiveScope, active target in my case. It's fun. There's no other way to put it. But other than that, out of the number of times we've been out this year, since I got it in November last year? November, December? I forget. I know I talked about it before I got it. Like my whole intent with it was to use it as another tool to help break down water a lot faster.
But it's there, and you can't help but look at it.
Yeah, right. When the conditions, the wind this year's been a joke. But yeah, when the conditions allowed for it, we could use it to hunt with it. My God, yeah, we absolutely did it, and it's been fun as hell. I can't say it's necessarily helped a lot more, with a few exceptions. Like there was 2 back-to-back weekends this summer where like, holy shit, it made a difference. And I was incredibly grateful for having it. But for its intended purpose, like how I intended it, was like just breaking down water faster. From that perspective, holy hell, that tool has been invaluable. Because like I said, we put in the time, we know what we're doing, and
So
could be any one of these 3 spots. And instead of taking 2 hours to figure it out, we know in like 20 minutes.
that last day on Champlain, when I caught over 20 pounds
Yep.
of smallmouth,
Yep.
I figured them out. I kept getting the bite without using the forward-facing sonar. And then I looked down at it, and I was like, okay, so this is what they're doing. This is how I'm catching them. I caught two without using it, 2 or 3 without using it. And I just replicated what I was doing, and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm doing. And they're just sitting right there waiting. And then I'm sitting there reeling, and I see one come up off the bottom. I just kept reeling, same way I was doing before. And you just came up and smashed it. It ended up being a 4 3/4 smallie or close to it. And it was a 4.68 or 4.65 or something like that. And tossed back in, did the exact same thing. I didn't even look at the live scope or whatever the hell he had on it, active target.
Yeah.
And I caught another one, like 4.5. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep doing this. I ended up catching like 20.5 pounds in like an hour. And
I think
helps.
I think it was like a half an hour.
was it?
I was standing right beside you, getting my teeth kicked in by those fish, and I keep looking over and just rods double over, like, yep.
It was cool. But
That's because you're a hell of an angler, and you've put in the time and energy, and have had
I've
the
had
desire
experience.
to understand what's going on.
I had experience with current way before I had experience with any sort of bass fishing, because I did a lot of trout fishing growing up.
Yeah.
And I understand current breaks and where those fish are going to set up, where they should set up. And I was just fishing current.
That first
the
fish
current
was
breaks.
told you everything you needed to know. You already
Yep.
knew everything else. That first fish told you everything you needed to know. They're
Like,
here.
all right, perfect. They're here. And I know exactly where they are now.
Yeah. So to elaborate on everything you just said, and then everything else that's been said about this topic, and then we can move on. A lot of this kind of chatter that's been going on, a lot of this has been centered on the exception, in my opinion, not the rule. Because the guys that are truly dominating, don't get me wrong, they're dominating. But like, how many guys out of the elites are really dominating with this, right? Where I guess, opinion or fact, it's making a definitive difference between the rest of the field. I don't think it's that many people. Percentage-wise, from out of the whole field, 15%? 20? 25? Hell, even if you said 30,
Right.
still a small subset. Perspective on it. I'm not trying to sway anybody's opinions. I'm not trying to, I don't know, like, I'm not trying to say definitively it's one thing or the other. I'm just trying to offer additional perspective on it. There's a lot of chatter about the exception, not the rule. And in this case, where it's the minority, it's the exception. I think that percentage is growing, no doubt. But I still think it's the exception. Not just my 2 cents. My 2 cents. My 2 cents.
My proof
Mike Tyson.
Mike Wazowski.
I did see one Shocksmaster. This is a good one. Do you guys know why Beast Coast discontinued the tungsten finesse dragging jig in the 7/16 and 5/16 sizes? So essentially that is, for Beast Coast, that was their traditional tungsten football jigs. Rounding up 3/8 and 1/2 ounce. Those were replaced by the Baby Dozer. So they still have those traditional football jigs in like a 3/4 ounce. But now it's just the deep dragging. I forget what it's called. So it looks like any other.
Ride?
No, I think that's a different one, but I could be wrong. It's like they still have that, like a very traditional tungsten looking football head to it where it's cold pressed or whatever. Big skirt and everything, but their 3/8 and 1/2 ounce ones, or in this case 5/16 and 7/16, have been replaced by their Baby Dozers, the open water snipers, and some other things. I don't know if he's got something else in the works for other things, but I can tell you like that's my take on the matter. I don't have it directly from the man himself, but the correlation of like when one dropped to when the other disappeared made perfect sense. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense. These are replacing that. So that's all. I like the Baby Dozers better anyway.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I just like, I don't know.
You just like jigs.
I just like jigs. And now I'm getting a lot more into the swimming baits. Not like swim baits, big swim baits, but like
Swimming stuff.
swimming small stuff
Like your hair
for
jigs.
big fish. It's a lot of fun.
I want to know where we're going to go on Sunday. Whether or not we have the outboard working.
Oh,
Friday after work. Fishing with John. If you want to come. John Emery.
what? You should have surprised me, damn it.
I'm sorry.
But it was good. You just did. Hell yeah! I didn't know they were up here.
I'm sorry.
Or is it just him?
Just him, I think. Fuck, you ruined it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Guggen Slayer said, I have enough confidence to naturally know the location and mood of the fish, but the device would help. Then there is a time lost learning it. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Is how much
What the John?
I fucked up. I wasn't supposed to say anything. I'm sorry.
What?
I wasn't supposed to tell anybody.
What?
He was here. He was supposed to be a surprise.
Oh.
Well,
Now everybody freaking knows. The whole world.
I just got excited thinking about fishing. My brain is.
Let's go to Deering.
Sorry.
Go to Deering.
If the outboard's working, yeah. I'm not going there with just a troll motor. It's too big.
I did.
I don't know. Now, if we put the Ultrix on it, sure. Because then we'll get moving. But if not,
Vortex.
yeah, that one. We'll play it by ear.
Yeah.
We'll play it by ear. Saturday is kind of like a workaround day. If I can get that water pump, the impeller
I can't take that
on
troll
time.
motor. I gotta sell that boat
No.
with it.
So that's why let me order the impeller tomorrow. We'll swap it out Saturday afternoon. I honestly God think it's going to take us less than half an hour. It's very straightforward.
It shouldn't take long.
And then we'll put the muffs on it, fire it up, make sure it's pissing. We'll be ready to rock. Shit, might be able to even go out Saturday afternoon. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, I think you interrupted me on my thought, but that's okay. I interrupted myself.
My hat does match your boat, Mark.
Yes, it does.
You should buy one.
Anthony, I find it funny anglers are more fired up about Pochet's boat compared to all the other shenanigans. Yeah, that was very interesting earlier this season. That's true.
Why? Because he could jump it?
Yeah, that was an amazing video, by the way.
Oh?
Yeah. Boat Potato, I caught a few big smallmouth and Champlain this year that had sores in that general fizzing location.
Yeah, it's probably lamprey.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
They suck bass.
Evan, can you cover more of the high school qualifying event? What is that? I know we just did the Junior Bass Masters High School Qualifier. Okay, so yes, I can. Be very, very quick. There is one tournament that for the New Hampshire high school bass fishing teams, every team fishes. That is the state championship qualifying tournament. So that's the Thursday tournament. In this case, this year, it's September 21st on Lake Winnipesaukee. I don't remember if he said it was out of the Center Harbor launch or the Lees Mills launch. It's almost always one or the other. Center Harbor launch works great because everybody gets to launch out of there. If it's Lees Mills, then you get half of the schools launching at Lees Mills and the other half launching just around the corner from States Landing. And all those guys have to motor up and go back up in Lees Mills to be ready for launch from there. That tournament, there's two flights. They split them up evenly. And one goes out at 8 and the other one goes out at 8:30. So 8 to 2 and then 8:30 to 2:30. The top 33% of teams based on weight move on to the state championship. That's it. There are boundaries that you are not allowed to go past for the lake. At least last year, they opened it up. It used to be if you launched out of Center Harbor, you could come down to like basically the mouth of the Broads. You go up to the Long Island Bridge at Long Island or the north side of it. You couldn't go past that bridge. You couldn't go past, I think, Spindle Point towards like Meredith Bay. And you almost like draw a line from... It was like halfway down Long Island Bridge, and you cut almost pure southeast to one of those islands, which I can't remember the name of, and like that was it for Center Harbor. And then Lees Mills was all the way down to the other side of the Long Island Bridge, down towards like Bear Island or something, but you couldn't go into the Broads, period, in either case. Last year, they opened it up because the Long Island Bridge is right there. You could easily, very, very safely go through the bridge and go all the way up and around to Lees Mills. So that like the whole Center Harbor Lees Mills connection is now one big open area, which is great because if you went into Center Harbor every year, it was always dominated by smallmouth. It's pretty much all there is out in that area for what was in bounds. But now that they've expanded it, it's cool because now it really is a game of, you know, who's willing to and who's capable of making that run from Center Harbor all the way up to these mills if the largemouth are playing right? But like, that's it. So if there's 33 teams, then the top 11 make it. If there's 39 teams, the top 13%, simple math, top 33%, things like that. But yeah, man, if you have any other questions, reach out to me anytime, Evan. I'll be happy to expand upon any of that. I did see Kevin say come to Vermont.
It's kind of a haul for maybe the boat might work.
Yeah. I mean, we could fish with him. He's got a big boat.
No, we could.
We could go to the promised land.
Speaking of Dennis.
Did he respond? Did you buy it? Is that what he said? Oh, did you try it? I can read. Trust me.
Not yet.
Oh, is this what you were talking about, Anthony? For earlier, you said something about Anthony. You feeling okay? No sunglasses?
I put him on.
I see that.
Just for him. And then he said something about Tremors. I don't know.
Like the movie Tremors?
Bert from Tremors. Like, oh, yeah. Okay. It's okay.
Oh, Bo Potato said definitely not lampreys. I am way behind. Guys poking the wrong spot or numerous times not using the right needles. I need to learn how to do this a little bit better. Jason, you're here. Hey, Fran.
Hi, Jason.
Anthony, maybe the smallies have gotten into the meth scene.
Did you read Alex's post?
What did he write? The sores are from dirty fizzing needles. Damn herpes of the fish. Gross.
Ew.
What did Mark say? I can't imagine fizzing all of these fish year after year is good for them. Yeah, true. DJ, come grab my boat. Done. Thank you. Were you busy all weekend or something?
I got to drive your boat, DJ, and I really like it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. There was one day we went up there, and it was just him and I and 2 kids. And did I let you drive the way out? Oh, yeah, that's right, because we went out in the afternoon, but there was another time we had the kids out.
We dropped the kids off in the morning, and then we went back out. And Oliver's just like, you guys are animals.
We took turns driving your boat. It was great.
Your boat's a whore.
We passed her around.
You want to try?
This is quickly becoming not family friendly.
Sorry. It's after 9. Kids are sleeping.
Reel Nothern Bass after hours.
The AF.
You want to see my
No, I don't. Not even a little bit.
No, we can't go down that path. Oh, God. Alec, anybody got experience on Harriman? Thoughts? Drove by it the other day while working and thought about checking it out. No. Have talked to multiple people. Dink City. Don't go. I'm not saying that to discourage anybody from going like it's some secret honey hole. I promise you. That is fact.
we were planning on going there for
since 2019.
That long?
Because for us to get to the St. Lawrence River,
we drive past it.
The most direct route is to go like from Milford straight through to like Keene, New Hampshire. So like just trucking straight west.
We drive past it.
Bottom of southern Vermont. Yeah, drove right by it, and we drove by it. August. Actually, I got a memory came up on Facebook today and on my Google Photos about us being at Champlain 2019. And we drove by and we're like, and that when we went by that year, the water was like 5 or 6 feet low. So we could see like all the timber and shit on the shoreline. We're like, oh my God, that place looks awesome.
It was, it looked really good. And we were planning for the last apparently 5 years or 4 years, whatever, to go there. And we found out last year that it's just not what we thought it was going to be. It gets really friggin' deep.
I think it was 110 feet down by the dam.
So maybe even deeper. But it's just, I don't know. Go try it.
Thank you.
Could be wrong.
I'd opened my mouth to say the exact thing. Screw it. It's an adventure. It looks like a cool spot. You're up in the Green Mountains, like you're on the tail end of it, but it looks like it would just be a beautiful area. Like that drive out there is beautiful anyway. Give it a shot. Who cares? Send it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You get to fish in a beautiful area
in there. Who knows?
Right. Might get lucky stumbling into a donkey. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a beautiful area. From what I understand, the boat ramp is pretty nice too. And I mean, Christ, you're in Vermont. Anywhere you stop at a store over there, they got great beer wherever you go. So win-win, right?
It's not what I want from Vermont.
They also have the other kind of stores there if you're into that kind of thing. Win-win-win, right? You could go to both. Go fish the new place. Go to one store. Go to the other dispensary store.
Don't mix them.
Don't do it on the drive home either.
Anyway. Whatever.
Dude, this was a good stream. That was fun.
It was.
And I appreciate Sean coming on. For everybody that's still here, before you go, drop a like on the stream, please. I don't know what's in the schedule for the next few weeks. I know what's in the schedule. I just don't definitively know who's going to be when and next and all that stuff. Got some other videos in the works. We'll have the boat situation resolved shortly here. Going to try and film this weekend. I was going to film Friday when we went out last week. But my dad's, what did we say? One GoPro, going old school on it.
Just bare bones, not even 2D. We had no electronics on the boat.
Zero, nada.
None. We were going to put one GoPro on just because that's what it used to be.
And that's
one GoPro.
all I can mount on there because there's no windshields to use my other mounts.
You know, we probably could have put that 9-inch on there.
Oh, yeah, I got it out there. Well, there's no mount for it, though. Like, he's even got the RAM mounts.
Do what I do, lay it right on the deck.
Oh, that's true. We can only use the transom mounted transducer, though, because the trolling motor one is broken off. And it's literally just electrical
It'd be like
tapes.
LiveScope. It's
behind the boat. Oh, Freedom Fishing wants to know what BFS reel did you get? Did you end up ordering one?
I didn't. Not yet. I was going to try the one that Dennis is letting me borrow. This is the... What the hell is this? Oh, this is the Dobbins. It's a... I don't know. It's a Dobbins.
You're too far from the mic.
I've never had a Dobbins before. So, I don't know. But it's got an SLX on it. So, I'm going to try it this weekend. And I'm going to love it.
My new line came in from Defiant today because I ran out.
Oh, yeah?
On 15.5 pound heavy cover. And I bought a brand new Corrado from Ben's Tackle Shack this past Saturday, which was amazing. And it's going on my new Douglas 715F.
Oh, I got Alexa to throw on one of my big rods, so.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that too. Only will sling big baits again.
Same.
Exactly like what Anthony just said. Strap on the 9-inch and send it. Pretty much.
Wait,
that's what we
what?
try to do. I didn't stutter.
Sheesh.
But a ding, 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 ding.
Christ.
Roll faster. Hear banjos. What was that movie? Without a Paddle? Seth Green.
We will see you guys next week.
I regret nothing.
I know. Oh, boy.
Go ahead. Do your thing.
Oh, we're doing it?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. We will guys see you guys later.
Oh,
we will. Okay.
Tomorrow night, Big Bass Dreams live stream starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. I will be there. Will you be there?
I'll probably be watching it.
Okay. I will be on for you guys that are interested. Obviously, it's Big Bass Dreams live stream anyway. So, Oliver, like, if that doesn't tell you enough where to be and why, I don't know what to tell you.
Probably one of the nicest, best. Him and Riley.
Oh, yeah.
Are the two of the nicest people on the face of this planet, not just on camera, like they just
for real.
are. And yeah, they're just freaking amazing people.
They really are.
But anyway,
I'll be on with them tomorrow night on their stream. If you guys are interested, again, 9 o'clock our time Eastern there. For people that are watching not from the Eastern, that would be what, 8 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Nope, 6 p.m. Pacific. You get the drill. Hopefully, I'll see you all tomorrow night. Okay, now you're good.
we will see you guys next week. As always, I'm back. And 8, yeah, okay. I lost.
Oh, he's definitely back. Right back in the swing of things.
Didn't skip a beat. We'll see you guys next week at 8 p.m. like always, Eastern Time at youtube.com/ReelNorthernBass and follow us. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a great night, everybody.
Adios, muchachos.